Yes, Megan, good morning. As we heard from the Columbia Fire Department, these events like these are never easy to deal with. And I'm just going to step out the way here, and you can just see the damage that the fire has done. And you can just also see people looking at the apartment as well. Now, I don't know at the moment if they are related or, if they are just, people who live in this apartment complex, but they are, just looking at the area. I've been out here at the scene for several hours now. You can actually see a Boone County deputy in the distance there. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. And I spoke to those officials just to find out what exactly happened. And I was told that the crash happened here in this area behind me just after 11 last night.
If there's anybody else inside, I need you to come out with your hands up and walk towards the roadway where the officers are located. You will not be harmed.
Police are still on scene doing some investigating and tells me they have taken one person into custody. Now, I spoke with Sergeant Mark Fitzgerald with Columbia Police Department. He told me officers responded to a shooting that occurred as a result of a disturbance at the Ballinger Lane residence here behind me. Now, Fitzgerald tells me when officers arrived, people they suspected to be involved had already separated. As a procedure, as you all heard, officers began calling out to the house, asking anyone still inside to come out with their hands up, according to the department. Now, and Megan Fitzgerald also says no injuries were reported. Reporting live from Columbia, Joushua Blount, ABC 17 News. Erica, good morning. This area of Locust and Hitch Street was closed for several hours as CPD and other law enforcement agencies investigated what led up to the shooting that sent 3 people to the hospital. Now, this comes as homecoming weekend has kicked off and crowds of people were out enjoying their night. We spoke with one witness who says he saw the whole thing happen.
4 Paul 71 Boone County, shots fired, Hitch Street and Cherry. Give me main law, emergency assistance.
That's the call heard over dispatch as shots rang out in the Hitch Street area of downtown Columbia. Travis Breeze, a witness who was in the area, said he thought it was fireworks.
I heard a bunch of pops and I saw people start to run, and I saw it with my own eyes, and I saw what looked like sparks, and so I literally thought it was fireworks, so I kept walking. And then I saw a guy bleeding, and I was like, okay, it was not fireworks.
Due to it being homecoming weekend, CPD says more officers are patrolling to ensure safety.
In fact, one of our officers was in the area when the shots fired went off and heard it and was able to respond to the scene almost immediately.
That officer found the victim with gunshot wounds and provided aid until they were able to be transported to a local hospital. In addition, CPD says they received reports of 2 other victims who checked into local hospitals. Back in July, CPD was discussing using a surveillance video program called Fuses that would allow the department to monitor video across the city. CPD spokesman says that system would be helpful for the shooting investigation.
Fuses would be an ideal kind of tool for a situation like this. We'd be able to use this to access cameras in real time as we investigate and look for footage.
In Erica, CPD says the shooting is still under investigation and there is no suspect information at this time. However, they are following up on all leads. Reporting live from Columbia, Joushua Blount, ABC 17 News. Storms ripped through the sleepy community of Tipton, Missouri in the early morning hours, causing residents to wake up to damage no one was expecting. Blenda O'Brien tells me she gathered her family members to clear the debris from her yard.
We started like at 8 o'clock this morning. I had to call in recruits.
While she said her damage was minor, O'Brien also said she never seen damage like that.
It's the first time, so I don't know if it was a tornado. I don't know exactly, just big wind. I don't know what it was, but it was scary.
About 5 minutes down the road, Anna Diggs tells me her family was woke up by the bad weather.
My husband and I woke up, we heard the rain, heard what sounded like was hail hitting the window, opened the curtain. When I shut the curtain, we heard a big crash and the window broke out.
Diggs says they couldn't do much until daylight, but they knew something was wrong.
We just know that when we got up this morning and it was daylight, that, it looked like, a war zone pretty much.
Losing power is one thing. As Diggs and her family continue to clean up, she's happy her family is safe.
I kind of went Facebook Live this morning because we have family out of state, just kind of show them that we were okay.
Both Diggs and O'Brien got the better end of the stick compared to Steve Graham just across Highway 50. The storm caused a tree to fall on the truck he inherited from his father. Graham told me his father died last year and the truck has sentimental value. He said this would be the first time he lost a vehicle to storm damage. Reporting from Tipton, Missouri, Joushua Blount, ABC 17 News. The American Cancer Society is having its Relay for Life event in Columbia later this evening. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Joushua Blount, and for Ben Fine. The fundraising event will be taking place at Cosmo Park beginning at 5 and running until 10. People attending the event will be able to enjoy food trucks, speakers, and a walk for the event. The walk will begin with a lap dedicated to survivors and caregivers during the opening ceremony at 5:30 p.m. This year, the American Cancer Society says its goal is to raise $60,000 that will go towards research, patient care programs, and other support. Fire crews say a garage in northern Boone County is a total loss after a fire yesterday afternoon. Crews were called out to the fire a little before 6 last night on Highway 124 just south of Harrisburg. When firefighters got there, flames could be seen coming out from the detached garage. Officials say the blaze was started by cooking. The damage is estimated to be around $250,000. Naquan Harris has been arrested for an attempted robbery at a Columbia gas station. Yesterday morning, we told you police were still looking for Harris after he was accused of holding a break time employee at gunpoint on February 23rd. Columbia police said surveillance video showed the two wrestled over the weapon before Harris ran off. He's being charged with attempted robbery, kidnapping, and gun crimes. As we spring forward into daylight saving time, this weekend, the state fire marshal urges you to check those smoke and carbon monoxide alarms as well. The state says those alarms are one of the simplest and most effective ways to keep your family safe, saying the devices can cut your chances of dying in a fire in half. The fire marshal says you should also practice escape plans at least twice a year, which is why he recommends the beginning and the end of daylight savings time. Officials say you should have 2 different escape routes planned in case one is blocked in a fire. You should also have at least one alarm on each floor of your home, along with inside and outside of the bedrooms. And you want to check those alarms each month by pushing the test button. Those alarms can also lose their effectiveness over time, so you want to replace them about every 10 years.